My husband caught me cheating with his own friend who also happens to be my ex. Now he wants a divorce. Part of me still thinks he's overreacting. The other part knows I may have just destroyed my marriage forever. Hello, Reddit I+ here. I already know I'm the villain here, so you don't have to tell me that part. I made choices that destroyed my marriage. What I'm struggling with is everything that happened afterward. I'm 34, my husband is 37, and we've been together for almost 11 years. We have a 7-year-old daughter. Until last year, I honestly believed we had the kind of marriage other couples envied. We laughed together, rarely argued, supported each other's careers, and built a comfortable life. If someone had asked me whether I loved my husband, I would have answered yes without hesitation. So I still don't fully understand why I threw everything away. About 8 months ago, someone from my college years reached out to me on social media. We had dated briefly before I met my husband, and over the years he'd also become friendly with my husband through mutual friends. It started innocently enough. We exchanged messages, then coffee, then more conversations. I kept telling myself we were just reconnecting. Looking back, I can see I crossed boundaries long before anything physical happened. Instead of shutting it down, I kept feeding the excitement of having someone from my past pay attention to me. Eventually, the relationship became an affair. Every single time I promised myself it would be the last. Every single time I found another excuse. Meanwhile, I became someone I barely recognize now. I stopped paying attention to my husband. I was distracted at home, emotionally unavailable, always on my phone, making excuses about where I was going. My husband noticed. He notices everything. One evening after dinner, he looked directly at me and asked one simple question. "Are you seeing someone else?" I froze. I denied everything. He stared at me for what felt like forever, before quietly saying something I'll never forget. "If you're lying to me today, and I find out later, there won't be another conversation. It'll just be over." He didn't yell. He didn't accuse me. He simply got up and walked away. Those words terrified me. That night, I ended the affair. I blocked the other man and promised myself I was going to fix my marriage. For the next several weeks, I became the wife I should have been all along. I planned date nights, spent more time with our daughter, cooked his favorite meals, started communicating again. My husband seemed cautious at first, but eventually he relaxed. I convinced myself we'd escape disaster. I thought I'd gotten lucky. Then everything unraveled. About 6 weeks later, the other man contacted me from a different account. He apologized, said he wanted closure, said he wanted to meet one final time so neither of us would have regrets. I should have blocked him immediately. Instead, I agreed. I don't have a good explanation. Curiosity, ego, selfishness. Whatever the reason, I made the worst decision of my life. We met at a hotel nearly 2 hours away because we thought nobody would ever connect us to that place. I remember looking at my phone afterward. There was one unread message from my husband, just one. It said, "I know exactly where you are. I know who you're with. I've already packed your things. Half of our savings has been transferred into your account. Don't come home expecting me to be there. From this point forward, we only discuss our daughter." That was it. No insults, no screaming, no threats. Just finality. My hands started shaking so badly I almost dropped my phone. I called him over and over, straight to voicemail. I texted nonstop. No reply. Hours later, I realized he'd blocked me everywhere. When he finally unblocked my number the next day, his first message wasn't about us. It was a schedule for our daughter. Nothing else. I drove home praying he would at least hear me out. The house was nearly empty. His clothes were gone. Our daughter's bedroom had been cleared out except for a few toys. It looked like they'd been planning the move for hours before I even realized what was happening. For the first time in my life, silence scared me. Over the following week, I barely slept. I barely ate. I called my parents. They said they loved me but couldn't defend what I'd done. His parents blocked me. His sister blocked me. Most of our mutual friends stopped responding. The only person willing to listen was my closest friend, and even she admitted she didn't know how to help me. Every conversation with my husband became strictly about our daughter. Pickup times, school, medical appointments, nothing personal. No anger, no sadness, just business. It almost hurt more than if he'd screamed at me. Then yesterday I was served with divorce papers. Everything had already been prepared: a parenting schedule, financial agreements, property division. He had thought through every detail. I kept waiting for him to ask me why, to yell, to cry, to demand answers. Instead, he treated me like someone he'd already grieved. I honestly don't know when he emotionally let go of me. Maybe the night he asked if I was cheating. Maybe long before that. I keep replaying everything in my head, wondering if there was any moment where this could have been saved. Part of me understands why he left. Another part of me can't understand how someone who loved me for over a decade could erase me from his life so completely without one final conversation. He never called me names, never tried to embarrass me, never took revenge. He simply walked away and never looked back. That's somehow been the hardest part to accept. So here's why I'm posting. Am I completely deluding myself for thinking that after 11 years together, one conversation should have happened before filing for divorce? Or is this simply the consequence of breaking the one promise he warned me he would never forgive? I know I'll get criticized. I probably deserve it. But I genuinely want to know whether anyone has ever come back from something like this, or whether my marriage was already over the moment I lied to his face.